summer's only over a couple of weeks, but since then the temperatures completely dropped. We all know what that calls for. A nice bowl of soup.
Let's roll.
What's happening, folks? Today, we're making a big old pot of soup. That is chorizo and potato soup to be exact. We're starting off by dicing up some cured, ringed chorizo sausage. Cut it into small cubes. Easiest way is to slice it in half, then half again, and cut across into cubes. Make sure they're all fairly even in size and not too big. Get out your biggest pot, turn it to medium-high heat and add a splash of olive oil. Then sweat off that chorizo until the oil renders out and it picks up some nice colour. I'm using the whole sausage here because honestly, when it comes to soup, what is the point of making 1 to 2 servings? You might as well make a big batch, feed the whole house for a few days, or freeze it for a nice meal prep. Job done, simple as that. Now while that's cooking away, finally dice up 1 large onion to the best of your abilities. Once the chorizo is ready, scoop it out, but keep all that red spicy oil in the bottom of the pot. That is flavour gold, as we're going to use that to sweat down the onion. I also had some celery knocking about that needed using, so I'll just chuck that in as well, but that part is totally optional. If you're new to the channel and enjoying the content, folks, why not drop a like and subscribe? It's much appreciated. Get stay nasty. Cook off the onion now and the celery if you're using it until it's soft, coated in that gorgeous red oil. Then in goes 6 to 8 cloves of crushed garlic. For this, I just use a garlic crusher straight up, no peeling, no messing about, it's as easy as that. Turn the heat down to low and let everything get nice and cosy. Now it's time for the potatoes. I used around 500 grams of standard spuds, nothing fancy here, Aldi specials will do the job. Wash, peel and chop them into even cubes or slices. Just make sure they're not too big or it'll take longer to cook. Turn the heat back up to medium high, add in 2 tablespoons of paprika, mix it all around, then pour in around 800 millilitres of chicken stock. Bring it to a simmer and let it bubble away for 15 to 20 minutes. That's how long it should take for the potatoes to soften up. Grab a hand blender and whiz it all together until it's nice and smooth. If you want to leave it simmering low and slow for a couple of hours, go for it. The flavours will only get better.
Now it's time to give it a taste to see if you need or want to add any more seasoning. Now always do this at the end. You don't want to add the salt and the pepper before you blend everything, because if you add too much, you can start again. When you do it now, you know what you need to add and you know what you want to add. So for me, I'm going to add plenty of black pepper, some white pepper and just a bit more salt.
I also added a splash of cream because I had some lying about that needed using, but then again, same as the celery, that's totally optional. For your last step, chop up a big bunch of kale and toss it in along with the chorizo we set aside earlier. Let it cook for around 3 minutes just to heat the chorizo back up, and now you're good to serve.
Now be sure to save some extra chorizo so you can add that on top of the soup along with a little swirl of that cream. Now this recipe does have a proper exact name. It's called Caldo Verde. It's a Portuguese soup. Now instead of the kale, they use like a Portuguese green cabbage, but if you can't find that, kale's a good substitute.
I have to say, this is one of the nicest soups I've ever had. It's so easy to make. Just requires potatoes, chorizo, garlic, onion. You don't have to add the kale, but I'd avoid it. It's pretty nice getting your greens in and add a nice balance of texture into the soup. Also, I forgot to say, if you want to add some spice to this, go ahead. I just add a little sprinkle of chili powder on top before it's served. And of course, you have to dip in some nice crusty bread. Now, if you're looking for some more recipes, be sure to click that video in the corner right there. And here at the Scran HQ, I just cook all. Honestly, it's whatever I'm in the mood for. Suppose, that's that, innit? Not environment, grow tash bond.
Tops. I also have some short form content on the channel as well, so if you prefer that type of style, make sure you give it a watch. Get up.